Hello, everyone. It's Mona again from Back Pain Movement Makers, and today is day 53 of our 365 days free challenge, where we go live every day to talk about healing back pain for good, but also living a fulfilled life. We're talking about the eighth of the 10 daily holistic healing habits, which has to do with good sleep, or good sleep is the eighth habit. So today I'm going to channel the highest consciousness. So they are going to give us questions, ask us questions, so we can begin to identify our roadblocks to this habit. Okay. Good sleep, good sleep. Okay, what is good sleep? We need to know what we're talking about first. Good sleep. Well, some of you think that good sleep is to sleep as little as possible and still have the energy to work hard. Well, that is not what we're talking about. Good sleep. Good sleep, in our definition, when we're talking about the 10 daily holistic healing habit and good sleep as the eighth of them, we're talking about feeling relaxed and a little bit sleepy before you should go to bed. You should feel inner peace, content, and enjoy life in the moment, but still know that it is worth it to go to bed. You are worth it. You're worth the relaxing, the resetting part that happens during the night. And during the night, good sleep, when we're talking about that, is that you could be awake several times throughout the night, but it doesn't disturb you. You just wake up, realize that you are awake, and then you put the body in a comfortable position again, and you fall easily back to sleep again. You dream dreams, but either you are empowered by them or you don't remember them, but they don't disturb you throughout the night. And when you wake up in the morning, you feel refreshed and looking for a new day. That is what we're talking about when we're talking about good sleep. It doesn't depend that much on how many hours you sleep. It is more up to you. When is the best time for you to go to bed? When are you relaxed? When do you feel content? When do you feel inner peace? And if that is not the case, not any night at all, then you have something to work with. Maybe you have such a stress production in your body that it's almost impossible to feel inner peace before you should go to bed. Then you have to work on that. You have to work with your own winding down process. Tomorrow, Mona is going to give you a good sleep hack, the best we think. Tomorrow she's going to talk about that. We have already told her about that. Um, so if you're feeling very, very stressed, you shouldn't even go to bed, because the bed should be, when you think about your bed and you go into your bedroom, that should be linked with a positive, sleepy, relaxing feeling. It should not be linked with stress, shoulds, musts, feeling bad for the body needs its sleep. That is not very good, and some of you might need to do several winding down procedure. First of all, no screens, for example, 2 hours before you should try to go to sleep. Maybe you should have it a little bit cooler in your bedroom, a little bit darker, a little bit cozier, a little bit cleaner, a little bit not your bedroom should not be linked with, in your when you're in your thoughts, with, for example, exercising and working. Of course, it could be if we're talking about some other exercises that could be done lying down in the bed, that is not a bad thing. If both or everyone is up to it, of course. Uh, so that is good, but you should try to sit down. We suggest that you sit down with a pad and a pen and write down what feels good in your bedroom, what doesn't feel good. Are there things there that they shouldn't be? Are they disturbing you? Is there a mess with dirty clothes on a chair? Get rid of it. Put them somewhere else. Are there computers or televisions? We know that some of you need to have them there, but could you please try to put something up so it's not that obvious anymore. You could have screens standing on the floor with beautiful material on them, or beautiful um, drapes or something like that, beautiful kind of art thing, if that's something for you. You shouldn't have your bills, for example, in the bedroom. You shouldn't be reminded of if you're having an issue with bills, and a lot of people with back pain have that because they're not able to work as much as their economy craves. And also, what about the colors inside the bedroom? Do they feel the way you would like to feel when you go to bed? For example, Thomas and Mona, every room in their house, except the smallest hallway where you enter the house, has yellow walls. And if you say no, we can't see that in this particular room, yes, there are two walls with dark woods on them, and there are two walls with yellow paint and dark panels. Mona can show you afterwards if you don't believe us. And why? Why yellow? Because they love the way the yellow reflects the daylight back, and it almost seems that the sun is shining no matter what kind of weather it's outside. And they love warm colors. Mona hates white walls. She freezes inside. She doesn't like white color at all. She think it's cold and kind of unfriendly. So, what are the colors you enjoy? For example, would you like to feel cozy? Are you always freezing at night? Mona, she has like um, what? How could we put this? She has it's not socks because they aren't that tight on the feet. It's more like boots, but they have no sole around under it. So it's like, and it's made with duvet material with feathers in them. She puts them on almost every night when she goes to bed, and uh, and they're living. They're oh, by the way, they're. Their bedroom is not yellow walls in it anymore. It's dark red with kind of dark panels above. They have repainted it. Before it had yellow panels and pink wallpaper because it was the girls' playroom before. And but then they have yellow curtains with big red and pink roses on them, so it's kind of, and the room is very small, so the drapes, the curtains are a lot of light in there and a lot of color in there. So what kind of feeling would you like to have around you while you go when you go to sleep? Mona loves the coziness, the warmth. She freezes almost every night when she should go to bed. So that is what they are up to. Uh, but maybe you like cool colors, light blue, light green, whites, gray. What kind of colors do you like? And what kind of paintings or photos would you like to have? Mona and Thomas, they have painted a black mm, kind of mood board next across the bed, so when they're lying in the bed they could see a lot of photos where they have put everything they are looking for in their life, situations, sceneries, beautiful places, and things like that. So they could look at that all the time. So, what kind of things would you like to have in your bedroom that reminds you of being safe, well, comfortable, sleepy, relaxed, inner peace, loved, and so on? And then, of course, what do you do before you go to bed? First of all, 2 hours before you go to bed, shut off the screens. That includes the TV. Okay. The flickering bluish light is not good for the melatonin production. And then try to do something that empowers you, but doesn't doesn't inspire you to be a creative, because that could happen to both Mona and Thomas sometimes. They are doing something, talking about something that sparks a creativity moment, and they're talking about that or they're thinking about that, and then it's really hard to fall asleep or to go to sleep because it's so inspiring to think about things. And this is almost often creativity projects that they like to, excuse us, that they like to indulge in, like redecorating, painting, putting up new wallpapers, Mona soon new curtains and pillowcases and things like that. So that is not a good idea. But what could you do? Could you read something? Mona loves to read right before she goes to bed, but that is not very often she could do that because their kids would like her to be in bed and humming. So they fall asleep to that, and she has accepted that. But what do you like to do? Some of you would love to have a bath or a warm shower before you go to bed, so you are getting sleepy. Thomas, he cannot take a bath right before bed. He has to do some winding down after the bath because otherwise he would be too wide awake. So what kind of activities could you do before you go to bed as winding down? And if you have a lot of stress production and feelings of stress before you can even think about going to bed, we suggest meditation, a guided meditation, or some other mindfulness exercises. And maybe you need to take 1 hour before you should go to sleep to begin to wind down. And then be very aware that you should not be thinking about your favorite stress triggers. All of you know what they are or who they are. Please write down if you're having problems with stress and not being able to go to sleep um, in a positive way, or at least a peaceful way. Please write down your 10 most stress triggering thoughts patterns. What are they about? Are they about persons? Are they about places? Are they about what you have done or have not done? What somebody else have done or haven't done? Are you worried about work or something that you might happen? Or are you ruminating about things that have happened? Well, dear ones, you cannot change anything that has already happened. Okay? You could, the only thing you could do is talk about with the person or the persons that something not very good happened, if they're up for it. And if they're not, just accept it. We know these are harsh words, but accept what happened. Rephrase your thinking around it. Forgive. Forgive yourself. Forgive the other person or the persons. They didn't know what they were doing. Jesus, what did he say? Please forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. They are not aware. And if a small child, for example, is doing something very nasty, but they are not aware that it is nasty, would you be very angry with them? Some of you would, and especially in the reactive mode. But if you take time to step back from all the feelings, is it okay to judge someone or something? Jesus also said, the person who has never done anything bad should be the first person to throw the stone or throw stones. Everyone, every one of you, every one of all people around the world that has ever lived and will ever live as persons on this planet have made mistakes. So please try to forgive, not for the other person, but for you. You deserve inner peace. So write down the 10 most triggering, stress triggering thoughts or thought patterns, and try to be aware every time you are conscious about this and your attention goes, oh, I should not be thinking about that. Well, that is really good. You have to try to take control back of your mind, because that is the way that you're going to be healed. That is the way you're going to be happy, content, and experience inner peace again. Being able to be aware and conscious about your thinking processes, because the thinking leads to feelings, and feeling leads to actions, and actions leads to results, which leads to thinking, to feeling, and yeah, you get the idea. And you are the one in charge of your thinking process if you are taught that is the truth. And we tell you, you are. And if you didn't know this by now, it is a creative process. You are all responsible for every thought, because thought create more than you think. The collective consciousness all around the world, well, you have seen the results of them. It's not a pretty sight, but you could change. You could change the world by changing your own mind about yourself to begin with. And when you change your mind about what you are, and that you have never done anything to change the way you were once, the way you were created, you begin to see yourself as holy and perfect, the way you are, the way you were created. And then you begin to see that everyone else is that too. And then things begin to shift for real. So we suggest, we're talking about good sleep, what it is. We're talking about what it takes to do that. You have to feel calm before you even try to go to bed. There are meditations, there are other mindfulness exercises, no screens, and of course, no coffee or black or green tea. We suggest that you should not drink it at least after 6 p.m. Some people are affected that they cannot really, if they should have good sleep, drink coffee later than noon. Okay? There are herbal tea you could drink instead, and there are things you could have instead of coffee as well. And then, what kind of feelings would you like to think about when you enter your bedroom? Should it be calm, cozy, whatever it is? Try, and if you're not owning your own place, your own home, please try to use with curtains, sheets, pillowcases, blankets, duvets, carpets, rugs, whatever. You could there are things, a lot of things you could play around with. And what do you think you need to remove from the bedroom to have somewhere else, so you won't get hooked up on things and reminded of things that create stress? And then be able to identify the most stressful thought patterns or thoughts, so you get you become aware what kind of thoughts you should avoid, and try to avoid them every day throughout the day, but especially not before you should go to bed. Okay? And then, if you don't know for how long you should or you need to sleep, you could use kind of sleeping diary. Write down what is the best time for you to go to bed. There are a lot of studies around this, that some people likes to, their best time to sleep is between midnight and 8 a.m. Some people, Mona, she has always been a night owl. But it's more important for her today to have a really good start in the morning, to have the time to be on her own and do, or at least not having to have the responsible for the kids in the morning. So she needs that time. And so it's better for her to go to bed really early. For some people, that is way too early. But she also arises around 4:30 in the morning. So she has a lot of hours. She doesn't go drive off from home until 7:30 in the morning. So that works perfect for her and for Thomas as well. So you need to think, when is the best time for you to go to sleep, and when is the best time to wake up in the morning. For example, if Mona goes up in the morning, put the alarm clock around 6 in the morning, she is refreshed and feels really good. But if, for example, if the alarm should wake her up 6:30, that is, something happens there. She is kind of lazy all day. So you have to find the magic hours when it's best for you to go to sleep and go up in the morning as well. And of course, you say that, well, I cannot do that because I have other work schedule times that I need to be at and so on. Of course, we understand that, but you could try to change your sleeping patterns. Then Mona is a night owl, and every time she is free from work, she loves to be up late in the at night, because, well, just cozy and so on. But then she knows that she cannot go up that early either, because then she's very, very tired instead. And not when she is having her kind of flow energy moment days, when she's really, really energetic, then she doesn't need that sleep. Or when it's very um, the days are really long here up in the north, then it's, of course, she doesn't need that much sleep either. But it's really important that you should feel refreshed when you wake up in the morning. It doesn't mean that you should not use an alarm clock and wake up just from your own sleeping patterns, because not many people could do that. But it should be like, when the alarm clock goes off, it should feel, ah, not every day, of course, but you should feel refreshed. That is a result of having good sleep. Okay. Well, that's enough for today. We will hand you over to Mona again. Okay. I don't know if there were many things, but I should show you our walls in this room. I don't know if you could see it. Well, there are 2 yellow walls in this room, and there are 2 dark wood or dark stained wood walls also. Uh, I think that you might like to see a picture of our mood board or our inspiration board next to our um, the opposite of our bed. So I should try to take a picture of it and post it so you might get inspired. It's a fun thing, though. I have to tell you. Um, when I lived in Katrineholm, that is the place, the town where Thomas and I are. We were born there, and we grew up there, and we moved here to our house in the little village on the countryside 2007. So before that, we had lived in Katrineholm. I have been living a lot of other places, but some other places too. But I met Thomas in Katrineholm. And in my house there, I had a huge photograph that I have bought on IKEA. And it's printed on canvas. And it is a sunset with mountains in the background, and it's a lake, and I could show you the picture of that too if you want to. And I had that across my bed, so I watched it every night. And for me, that painting or that photo reminded me of Orsa. Orsa is the little town that is next to our small village, because when I grew up, my father is from Orsa. And when I grew up, I was there every summer, and the beautiful lights at night, and the sun setting behind the mountains, and so on. It's not the place, it's not Orsa on the painting, I know that, but for me it reminded me of Orsa and the beautiful scenery up here, and the beautiful lights and the sunsets and the views and everything. And I have never ever thought about moving here, ever. But then I met Thomas, and we're both more countryside people, village people, instead of town people. But we have both grown up in the middle of the town, Katrineholm. So when we met, we started to go and visit my dad, because when he retired, he moved back to Orsa. And every time we should go home again, we felt something was missing. So we had not been a couple together more than, I think, 1 year and 4 months before we sold the house and moved here. We had no idea if it would work out, if we didn't have jobs. But we were positive and thought, well, they always need construction workers, and he drives a lot of vehicles and so on, and he's very into machines and things like that. So they always need people for that, and I'm a teacher, so they always need teachers. We thought that anyway, and it worked out perfectly. So then, when we had moved here, then it struck me how much that picture, that painting, had meant to me. So we should not be too, what is the word? I don't know how to put this. We should be aware that the pictures that we're having in front of us or next to us that we watch a lot, what they mean. because they kind of help us to program us with positive things. That painting is now hanging above our bed, so we're not seeing it when we fall asleep. What we have, our mood board instead on the opposite to the bed, so we see that. So we'll see what happens. Okay, this has been a very long session. Well, tomorrow, as the highest consciousness said, I'm going to talk about the best good sleep hack ever. I have no idea, but the highest consciousness said to me that is a really important one. Okay, hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye. And by the way, if you know someone that might benefit from this, please send this video to them. Okay, bye. Oh, I should play this first. Song.